All right, we have a pretty substantial practice update as you have media over there, and they're letting us know who is and who is not practicing on the second day of the practice schedule. So let's get into it. Obviously, you can see on the screen is Trent Williams. Now, this is where this becomes a little bit alarming in regards to Trent Williams because typically what we become used to is Trent not practicing on a Wednesday but returning for Thursday and Friday practices. Trent is not practicing today with designated as an ankle injury. So this is something that we now have to monitor, and his practice availability for Friday becomes a big emphasis, something that we will be looking for because if he doesn't practice tomorrow, that is typically a trend that he will not play. Now, he is a guy who doesn't need to practice throughout the week, so you got to keep that in mind as well. But I do think that Friday's availability will be a very interesting one for sure. And there's some other key players who are going to be out as well, but we did get some good news with George Kittle. George Kittle returned to practice today. Looks like he is, I don't know if he's going to be a limited or full participant. We'll figure that out later. But he is practicing. He is on the field. We have visual representation that he is out there. So that is a good sign. Expect Kittle to play in this game against the Seattle Seahawks. And we did hear from Kyle Shanahan yesterday, who also said he expected to see Kittle in this game. Now, here's another one. Nick Bosa doesn't appear to practice today, and he might not practice at all this week, and it might be really, really close in this one. He is dealing with the hip injury. He mentioned yesterday that it's very painful and causing him a lot of discomfort. Um, but boy, that's one guy that you definitely don't want to miss on the field because the 49ers are already pretty thin on their defensive line. And without Bosa, they will definitely be going and reeling and leaning on their reserves. Yetur Gross Matos does appear to be practicing. Um, and obviously, he's on injured reserve. He was practicing last week. They did not elevate him from IR or activate him from IR. So if Bosa is down for this game, I would expect to see YGM get activated because they're going to need all the bodies they can get on the outside. So he would definitely be forced to make an impact. Let's take a look at some of the other players and things that came out of today. Christian McCaffrey was seen at practice today. Again, yesterday he put in a limited participation. I would imagine he's putting in a limited participation today as well, which again is not a big deal from that particular standpoint. I think we all expect that Christian McCaffrey will play in this game. He has not suffered any setbacks, so that is good. So we do expect CMC to be good to go, barring any situations going on. Also, just while we're on the running backs as well, Jordan Mason was practicing, but he was wearing a blue non-contact jersey. So something to monitor. I think he's still just dealing with that shoulder injury. So I don't expect either one of the running backs to miss the game. Charvarius Ward, obviously, still taking time away. He'll probably miss this week of practice and likely the game against the Seahawks. It'll be interesting to see if he returns the following week. But as we know, he can take as much time as he needs in order to get himself mentally ready to play again. Because obviously, if you're going out there and you're not mentally locked in, and that's how you get injured, and that's how other things happen. So, Mooney, take all the time you need, pal. We're with you and thinking about you. So, hopefully, he will be good to go. We also have some other minor updates. Chris Conley is practicing, so I think that's the second practice in a row that he is logged. He missed last week, and Jonathan Feliciano also practicing. But other guys that have also missed practice, Mitch Wishnowsky misses his second practice of the week, so I'm pretty sure that Mitch is going to miss this game. The 49ers did sign a punter yesterday, which is a strong indication that Mitch will be out. Kyle did talk about how he re-aggravated his back injury. I had discussed how the 49ers had brought in multiple punters throughout the offseason, throughout training camp, because Mitch was dealing with a back injury. So we did talk about that, and it does seem to be re-aggravated. If you remember, we had Presley Harvin during the preseason, who actually punted pretty well, but they went in a different route and brought in Pat O'Donnell to be the punter. So he is trending towards punting for the 49ers. Honestly, I can't think of a season where the 49ers have had so many injuries with their specialists. Obviously, we've had 3 kickers this season, as well as a situation with now Mitch Wishnowsky. So something to keep in mind. Kevin Givens not practicing with a groin injury. So Kevin Givens has now missed some time and is probably trending towards missing this week as well. So injury bug, not super substantial, but it is kind of popping and rearing its ugly head here. And of course, shout out to guys like Cam Inman, David Lombardi, and Nick Wagner for putting out these reports. That's where this information is coming from, as they are on hand for the practice and letting us know where everything currently stands with these players. So Friday's practice is going to be a big practice, mainly due to the availability of Trent Williams and Nick Bosa. Obviously, there are other players that we will be monitoring as well, but they will be the headliners as we get prepared for this division game against Seattle. So that was a big update. There's a lot of names, a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, we'll get the official participation later on, but that's what we got right now. Let me know questions, concerns that you may have in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.